afternoon. Are we live? Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another week of A Glimpse of Growth with Dr. Dale. Hello. Today is May 7th, 2025. Approximately 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. Welcome. Thank you for being here. For those that are live and for those that are watching the recording. Hello. Hello. So I have started a series because of the many requests. That I don't know if I mentioned this. You probably does. I probably mentioned it all this time at some point. My very first job was working in a nursing home and answering the phones. And I don't know if I did mention this actually. In a nursing home, anybody at the front desk at any organization, I want you to know that person knows a lot. They know everything, they see everything. So, in case you didn't know, if you're wondering about something, ask them, especially if they were as curious as I was. So, I say that because everybody will come to me at that front desk and tell me everything. What was going on with their position, what's going on with their loved ones, what's going on with their husband or boyfriend, what's going on with their boss, what's going on with the patient, what's going on. They told me everything because I'm that type of person. I make them feel comfortable, which is a part of my superpower. And I've never, all these stories, I'm sure I'm not sharing any names and who, what, when, why, but I'm giving you back the stories that they have shared with me, stories of leaders that I have interviewed. Friends have shared their workplace scenarios and stories. A lot, clients. So I'm bringing all of these stories back to you and letting you see that time and time again, humanity wins. Humanity wins every single time. So I've decided to do these workplace scenario stories, and I've called it wisdom, workplace wisdom, real life, real stories, and real leadership in action. So it's individual stories, workplace stories, the employees from the employee perspective, their experience. And at the end of the day, it's pretty much humans being humans, right? And let's get started. Let me share, because we're only here for a short time, less than 30 minutes. Share this quick story with you guys because it reminds this one today, and I'm naming it From Fired to Featured. What is it about? We'll see. We'll see. Well, somebody's getting fired. Somebody's getting fired, right? I know. So, compassion, emotional intelligence in action, the power of seeing people. So you keep on hearing HR professionals and or leaders say people want to be seen, people want to be valued, people want to be appreciated. You keep on hearing those three words is because there's something to it. There's something to it, my friend. Today's story is one that's gonna remind us, right, of the raw, remarkable superpower of HR. So if you're like one of those people that's still wondering, what is HR good for? Why do I need an HR department? What kind of value do they bring? Well, I hope that this story will shed some light on some of those values that HR brings. If you're still one of those leaders today asking yourself that question, tis, 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 get in the know. Let me be the one to break the news to you and let you know HR's value. It's even hard to sum it up in one word, one sentence. HR's value, from the business acumen, from the HR strategy, from the leadership development, the career development, the talent acquisition, like the workforce management, like getting ahead of things, and understanding the business and making sure that the employee's performance is matching up with the entire organization's actions and purpose and visions, and the structure of the entire organization, bringing it home to the employees and the employee relation. Like, man, I'm not going to sit here and tell you the value of HR. You're going to have to go do your research because it's just too much, too much. So this story is going to bring you home because it's personal. It connects you to your emotions, and most of all, it's transformative. Right? It's transformative because it's about how you are choosing to pause and ask questions. The power of a question. The power of you asking one question can literally, not figuratively, not theory, can literally change someone's life. The power of a question can awaken in someone psyche, their inspiration, their deepest desire, remind them of something that they said when they were little that they wanted to be, that they forgot, that they want to go back and start pursuing that dream and that goal. Like the power of a question, the power of words can change the entire direction of someone's life. So here's the story. This employee was about 26, not 30. It was nowhere near 30. About 26, between 26 and 30 years old. New to the company. Had some promise. This employee was good, full of promise, potential. He was eager, excited to learn, very teachable. You have employees that are people that are not teachable, and you have employees that are not teachable because they know it all. This employee, he was teachable. He was open to learning. He was open to growing, and whatever those growing pains were in the company, he was your person. But something happened, as it always does. Within months, this employee's performance dropped. He started missing deadlines. His communications became misunderstandings, poor communication. He started to be more absent. Leadership, his manager, needless to say, he was done with him. It was very cut. He was they were ready to cut ties with him. So they called, naturally, the HR department. I need you to help me to get rid of this employee. The HR director was asked to move forward with that employee's termination. On paper, it looked cut dry. It made sense on paper. But something didn't feel quite right with the HR director. Something was off. She felt it in her intuition. So before going through with it, she decided to schedule a private check-in meeting with this employee. She sat the employee down and she just asked him one question. And she said, before I move forward with the next steps, I just want to ask you one question. Are you okay? What do you think came next? When she asked that question, what do you think came next? Come on. What do you think came next? What do you think happened? Let me know your thoughts below. This employee, he followed up with tears. Like tears. He started crying. He like broke down. Like not tears here or there. No, like breaking down, crying. And then he started talking. And he said his mother was battling stage 4 cancer. You probably know somebody with cancer, or you keep on hearing this disease, this illness, this killer of people. It's so many people have died from cancer that it's hard to even it's hard. You can, if you can ask people in one group, how many of you know someone or had someone that, or you heard of someone dying of cancer, almost all the room will lift up their hands. So naturally, this one person, this guy, his mom was battling cancer, stage 4. He, of course, what do you think came next? He is her primary caregiver, barely sleeping, on emotional drain at this point, and simply trying to keep it together. What does the Magnolias, that show on Netflix, said? I'm barely keeping it together. I'm with duct tapes and happy thoughts. That's what this employee was doing. He was barely keeping it together. So instead of terminating him, the HR director, because she asked that question, and she found out his manager, when his approach wasn't to find out really, hey, what's going on. He's like, man, what's going on with you? Can you stop? Can you start showing up to work? Can you, like, please be on time? You had these projects, you didn't keep them, you didn't do what you needed to do. Like, the energy, that's a different energy, right? That's a different energy. That's a different approach. Does that employee in that space, and how he approached him, do you think that employee was inclined to share? I know I wouldn't. I would keep doing what I was doing and try my best to keep it together and not get fired and not piss off my manager anymore. But clearly this employee was not winning at that. He was not winning that battle. So instead of terminating him, the HR director, she offered flexibility. I know a lot of companies don't like hearing this word, but flexibility. I know a lot of managers don't want to hear, you're here to come in and do the job, and that's all I want you to do. Flexibility. Because remember, you're dealing with different generation of people in your organization. And if you're not trying to meet them at least some of the way, then you're telling them what's important to you, the bottom line. And ain't nobody want to be a part of a company that just is in for it to make profits. You're not trying to make your community any better. You're not trying to impact the lives of your employees by ensuring that they have career development, that they have a path to bettering themselves. You're not ensuring that the community that you are in, that you are giving back. Like, you're just here to make the money. And people can peep that right away. You're providing that service to your customers, and you're barely showing up as your best. And you cannot be showing up at your best if the employees that are serving your customers are not showing up at their best. So it's a circle. You take care of your employees will take care of your customers. Right? And that's the majority. There's some outliers here or there, but then you got to figure out those outliers. What is the motivation of those people? Maybe they don't want to be, maybe, being in your company is not a part of, is not a thing for them. Find out what that is. And like I say all the time in my conversation, you coach them up or you coach them out. And either one is perfectly fine, because then you're moving that person closer to whatever it is that they want or they need for their life. Right? Okay, so I'm gonna get off my soap opera box now. So the HR director, she was flexible. She connected him with mental health resources. She connected him, she enrolled him in the company's mentorship program, right? And what do you think happened? I'm so excited. What do you think happened? Months later, 7, 8 months later, that person, this employee that was not doing so well, he became the company's, not the department, he became the company top performer. His sales went out the roof. This led to and he eventually became a manager and later an ambassador for the company, traveling all over, showing other, new employees that started with the organization and training them. He became an ambassador of the organization. He was about to be fired, but then the HR director asked the question, "Are you okay?" He broke down. He started to share because the space was created for him. So now he can be himself and share what was going on with him. That's not too far fetched. That's normal. I want to say it's normal. Let's normalize kindness and civility. People, let's normalize it. So that employee, when he became an ambassador, he became a manager, he became a leader of people, he said, "I will never, ever forget the leader who didn't see me as a problem, but a person to support." That HR director didn't see him as a problem. She saw the person first, the position second. She saw the person first, the position second. All right, we got to keep going because we need to get out of here. All right. So here's some takeaways. Here's some lessons. Leaders who lead with empathy aren't weak. They are wise. So if you're one of those people that think that kindness is weakness or being civil is weakness, it's actually wise, because look what what that HR leader eventually did. And then as a result of that, the bigger piece is that company, because of this top performer, they won and they were able to win an award. And this employee led that initiative. Like they applied for like some award or something in that industry, and they won because of this employee that was about to be fired. So seeing the person behind the performance is how you cultivate those long-term loyalty and trust. You got to see the person first, the position second. I'm not talking about outliers that are slack offs. I'm not talking about those people, because you already know what to do with them. You need to have a hard conversation with them, and you need to let them know, are you here to work or are you here to, not? And then whatever path you choose, let me help you get there. Right? And then number two, the other takeaway is don't just trust the document, trust the dialogue. Let's not just document. Let's have a dialogue, right? I'm hoping that as part of that documentation, to like cover yourself, make sure that you document. Make sure as part of that documentation, you are having a dialogue that is not just emails back and forth, that you're being human, right? So performance issues are often symptoms of deeper life stressors. What is causing that employee to do or not do? To not do? Emotional intelligence in HR, it isn't just about ignoring the standards. No, it's about creating a space for context. Yeah, it's true that policy says that we should whatever make sure this employee, oh, the job description, this job description said employee needs to submit 100 whatever per week. For the past 2 weeks this employee's been submitting 50. What's the context? The context is we don't know why. We need to find out why, right? And lastly, that moment of grace created a legacy. So everybody started referencing that employee. He started going and training other people and giving them the mindset that helped him convert and be a better version of himself. Because the employee, the HR director was there for him. The company was there for him when he needed it, right? Which eventually, yes, that employee's mother died, but he was able to be there for his mom in a very special way because he had flexibility, understanding. He had compassion as part of his work from his leaders, from his peers, from his coworkers. So here's some questions for you. Have you ever felt, if you as an employee, as a person, have you ever felt unseen at work? You know what that feels like, to be ignored, to be not counted, right? If you are a leader, how often do you pause to ask before reacting to the what? Ask. Let's not jump to conclusions. Okay? Um, so here's a call to action. Here's what I want you to walk away with. Great leaders don't manage. They don't just manage, they notice. They are observant. They don't just push performance, they make room for people. And I said this in my last conversation. Are you forgetting to people today? Don't forget to people. And if you're in HR, if you're in leadership, if you're in any people management role, ask yourself this question. How can I make space for someone's humanity today? Because when you need it, you're going to wish somebody made space for you. So Colin Powell said, always show more kindness than seems necessary because the person receiving it needs it more than you know. That's what I got for you guys today. I mean, you guys told me this I'm just sharing what happened. This is what happened. Humanity always win. And my question, my statement to you, don't forget the people today. If this story, if you like this story, if you can resonate with it in any type of way, and you want more conversations like this, well, it's going to be more because I'm going to continue to share. This is going to be, I think this is going to be like a staple of the a glimpse of growth, the podcast, right? Sharing those workplace scenarios, life lessons, and of course, issues that happen in the workplace that we perceive one way, but then if we take a closer look and ask, you can perceive it another way. So I wanted to share as well, for those that are watching, you can, if this story touched you, you want more of it, I have my masterclass. It's coming up. Actually, if you click, we call it the link, right now you will sign up for it and then you will quickly have access to it. Click the barcode, follow the barcode. I'll even put the link in the notes. so that way you guys can get it. But the masterclass will help you understand your employees, help you understand yourself. Because I always say this, before you become a leader of people, you need to become a leader of yourself. Keep leading. You need to lead from you, from who you are, and never underestimate the power of asking. As we've learned in this story, are you okay? Are you okay? So thank you guys for being here today. This is the end of the conversation. That's it. I told you a short while, just a short while. And don't you forget to people today, because if we're not peopling, what are we doing? If we're not peopling, if we're not understanding people and ourselves, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Get to doing the right thing, because peopling is where.
Thank you for being here and supporting this channel. If you enjoyed this episode and this content, it would mean a lot to me if you would take a few seconds to ensure you are subscribed to A Glimpse of Growth with Dr. Dale. Click the notification bell to receive notification. Share it with someone you think may need it. And let's continue to become more intelligent with our emotions. Thank you. See you later.